I sure hope somebody picks up that phone.
Do what?
Because I f***ing called it!
Don't watch. Turn off the TV. Go and touch grass, please, for God's sake.
One thing you better know, and that is, I love all of y'all. Listen, can I explain something to you about being a daddy?
Don't try to frighten us with your devotion.
Daddy is the breadwinner. You dig what I'm saying? And if you don't win that bread, it just don't come around.
Fella you're with, the black kid? Dresses like a writer? Does he know anything?
You are racist.
Damn you! Sutek gets filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Damn you, Sutek!
Show ain't no good.
And I want to say this to the
YouTube
audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of
grifting,
I have never profited from
racism.
I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of
racism,
I have never obstructed
spear chuckers.
And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of
racism,
that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not they're
grifter, racist.
Well, I'm not a
spear chucker.
No, I promise quick. So, a lot of you might not know, I do a panel stream every Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Smash actually does play games. So not this coming Monday, but next Monday, the guest of honor is Mike Pollock, which you might not know by name, but is the voice of Dr. Robotnik / Eggman. It's going to be wild. So, yes, come to my channel, Words of Paradise. We'll see you on the 24th because, who don't want to talk with fucking Eggman of all people?
President Trump? I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of... Down to Poppa Road, please 182! The power of one, the power of two. The power of man.
Morality, and now we're facing me as mortality. They lost the plot, we'll take a stand. These corporations must perish, we'll reclaim our land. Enough is enough, we've drawn the line. We'll take back our stories, a spark divine. The will of the fans, a storm on the rise. We won't be silenced by the hollow lies. Reclaim the legacy, break the chains. These companies must die for our world to remain. They can't take our passion, we're holding the gates forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen. And nothing in between. Yo, once again, it is WTF live. That's right, mother lickers. It's time to take out the trash and clean up all the latest and the not so greatest, freshly squeezed out bullshit from pop culture and politics. You are watching.
Trash getting taken out.
Yes, indeed. There is some rather old, haggard spinster trash being taken out today, allegedly of her own choice. We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that, because whether you think anything can be saved or preserved or regained as a result, it is an auspicious day for anybody who took up a channel and decided to start making free content for free thinkers, what they label as anti-woke, but really it's just common sense. But fine, we'll call it anti-woke. For anyone who's ever done a channel like this one, it's kind of an auspicious moment. Indeed. Whether you like it or not. But of course, you are watching Will of the Fans. My name remains Will. See what I did there? And today we got tons and tons to talk about, because of course we didn't have a stream on Sunday, as I was in freaking Singapore, thanks to the immigration department of the Philippines. But you know, I would say silver lining, I went to Singapore, but I've already been to that airport, and that's the only place we went. So if you've never sat in an airport for 9 hours, it gets really boring if you don't have something good to read. So there, we'll get into all the latest and the not so greatest from pop culture. First of all, how are we sounding? Ryan's got a different mic because of a technical issue, so bear with that. But are we all loud enough? Not too loud? Chat, let us know if anyone's offending your eardrums. But before we'll go on with anything else, I am, of course, joined as always by Ryan Rogerathe and Problematic White Guy, aka John. Ryan, what's up, man?
It's an old microphone. Don't you guys and gals remember the old lamppost mic? I did a mic drop on Atreus with this damn thing about all you blacks look alike, sound alike, and it actually resonated with people back when I had this microphone. Yes, I know, Will, you looking like that. Dragon Slayer really laughed when I made that tirade. And I mic dropped like this, yeah, and I dropped it. But it's great to see everyone. Hopefully you can all, there we go. Hopefully you can all hear me, and here's to a great show. I am getting a new microphone in a few days, but this old Razer Siren Mini has been suiting me just fine. Could you imagine if I had to go through like British immigration, but I had to go to Germany to get it sorted out? That's what that, you know, reminds me of. Philippine immigration. Let's go to Singapore. It's like, what the fuck?
It doesn't work like any other country where you go there and you are allowed an allotted amount of time. And then if you want to stay, you're going to have to, you know, play the political game and or leave, you know. No, not here. Here they'll allow you to continue to update your visa. Just pay them. Pay them $30, $40 a month, and you can stay here as long as you like until 3 years, at which point you have to leave. Why? Don't know. What's the significance of 3 years? Apparently none. And yet that's the rules. They just seem to make them up as they go along. And yeah, at that point, no matter how old or infirm you might be, you still have to fucking leave, which meant pushing my old man around in a wheelchair for 3 airports. So that was nice. Anyway, we had a much better time than it sounds. You know, just nice to be forced to take a day off occasionally. Actually, it's surprisingly nice. So there's that. Anyway, I hope everyone is okay sound-wise. And Ryan, I hope you're doing all right with that mic. Don't worry, we sound fine. And I don't think anyone's bothered. As for the people saying I should have brought my Switch or got a Steam Deck, I had my laptop in the bag. I just never wanted to play on it. I ended up reading One Piece the entire time because I'm 20 chapters behind. So,
obviously. I mean, One Piece never ends.
Well, it's getting there. We're in the final saga now, no doubt. Right. Everyone, the last remaining power players are all gunning for the One Piece now, including the government. So.
Oh, that might be the biggest enemy of them all to face.
It is the biggest enemy of them all by miles. Yeah. Anyway, John, how you doing?
Oh, I am awesome as always. Yesterday was Twin Peaks Day. It's been 35 years since Laura Palmer was found washed up on the coastline of the Pacific Northwest. And so, we did a watch along last night. We actually watched Northwest Passage, which is the international cut of the pilot.
Right.
And it's done as a movie. And so, I got to talk to people about kind of my weird, John's craziness kind of outlook on David Lynch's work, all being basically about the same kind of energy that inhabits all these various parallel states of reality. And so it's like another version of the truth, but it doesn't quite give you the ending that you want. But that's the whole point of David Lynch's genius. But beyond that, it was a good day. Rising Stars came back yesterday, and I think we had a banger of a show. It was just a really good night. I got some stuff sorted out with the Steam Deck a little bit. Still need to figure out how to get a virtual camera to operate on it. Once that happens, I will make the, oddly enough, switch to using my Steam Deck for my primary system. But yeah, things are good. Can't complain. And I got a note sent my way just a few moments ago. We will probably be getting by a special guest here momentarily. So I was like, I try to extend out the opening and see if she arrives in the middle of me talking. And this would be great if this is the point where she actually pops in. But I guess we can just maybe banter for a few more moments. But yeah, it's been a really good weekend for this guy. Did a lot of streaming on Sunday. We went for 5 hours on Toasty's channel, and then I was so wore out. I was gonna skip out on Stupenzo, but those pool fetish videos that I've mentioned before, the pool party thing. It's
why do you keep mentioning that?
He keeps mentioning a lot of really strange and seemingly unconnected things.
Yeah, I know. Well, this I had to do it. I was baiting you into it. I was wondering how long it was going to take for that to pop in. But
not long. Not very.
Yeah. No,
my reaction time remains quite fast.
Yeah.
That was the fastest removal of a black man I've seen since the 19th.
I'm your master. You are my possession. Don't raise up on me. I'm old deaf. I'm old deaf.
All right, it's WTF Live. White Time Friends. Yeah, that's where we're at. That's it. All right. Okay, we have got a lot to get through, but of course, I want to make sure that we also shout out to the chat and the mods who are here already. I can see a lot of the familiar faces, and of course, modding for us at the moment. We've got DramaticaLaur, Yrys Roda, and I think TGAP Steve is even here. I haven't seen him for a long time, actually. I just realized earlier on when I was watching Hypno's stream, I was like, wow, where's TGAP Steve been? So glad to see him here as well. And of course, we are now joined at this time by the fourth member of this panel, not the same one as last time. And that's fine. It doesn't matter either way. It'll be a revolving door, but we're the three hosts. But guesting with us this time around is Osaka Chandol. Konnichiwa. How are you?
Hello. Good evening. It's
Good
nice
evening.
Here.
Right. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but we are going to absolutely be talking a little bit about Assassin's Creed Shadows because that has leaked. And, well, actually, I guess we could probably start off with that before we move into other topics. I was going to do Doctor Who first, but it's such an inauspicious thing that's happened. And what's happened with Assassin's Creed is a fucking big deal, actually. When you consider everything that has happened with Ubisoft. But before all that, chat, hello, welcome mods. Nice to see you again. Join the Grift Force. I swear we're not getting anywhere near as many members lately. I know we're getting a lot more super chats, and that's cool, but let's get some green names in the chat as well. If you want to talk to us or have an argument with us or whatever, you can attach it to a stamped addressed envelope and hit the super chat button to fling it through our window, like on a back of a brick or something. It will get our attention that way, whether it's nice or not. And join the Grift Force if you want the emojis. The kick-ass emojis and a ticket to the monthly member stream that will be happening on Monday of next week. If you like the emojis and you want some more, kick in a couple of bucks and join today. All right, you slags, let's get it. First things first, then. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I know, I'm so less polite than I used to be. Assassin's Creed Shadows has leaked. And
I think it's not only leaked, it's shit the bed a few times.
Yeah, this is more, there's more of incontinence than leaking, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, we have had a year of just humiliation after humiliation after humiliation from this game, and of course Ubisoft, starting of course from last year when they told everybody, as I always bring up, that we should get comfortable not owning our games anymore. Let's just do a quick rundown of everything I can remember. Okay, we have seen them create a game in the Assassin's Creed series and change the main character to be a real life black dude because of Saint George Floyd and the fentanyl shit. And they made him the playable character. That offended a lot of people, especially in Japan. They were working with Thomas Lockley, who Japan hates, apparently, because of his work, Rockety, as I suppose they some people in my comments refer to him, who made up fake history. They then altered Wikipedia and apparently the Encyclopedia Britannica to support the theory that Yasuke was a samurai. They stole a trademarked symbol from a Japanese historical rifle group and refused to remove it, even after they got complaints from said group. They appropriated Roanoa Zoro's Sandai Kitetsu from One Piece. They showed Yasuke beating up and beheading and mutilating Japanese people to weird feudal pseudo hip-hop music. They showed footage of Yasuke destroying the altars of Shinto shrines, even as the temple contacted Ubisoft to request or demand to have themselves taken out of the game. Japanese YouTubers have risen to prominence, people like Shohei Kondo, for roasting the ever-loving hell out of this game. They have had AI-generated hit piece songs made about this game from, apparently, the Japanese.
They're pretty funny, actually.
I like them. I got a huge reaction, like 60,000 views for a reaction to one of them once. It was a bizarre thing, and I'm really glad I did it, obviously. Interestingly, a lot of thank you notes in the comments from Japanese people, so that was nice. We had now a parody, of course, of the game, Yasuke Simulator, that has...
Don't forget they use Chinese architect.
Yep.
For Japanese building, they use Chinese, especially Chinese lanterns. They also had the symbols for, like, some of the samurai clans upside down.
Oh, this is why I wanted Osaka here for this, exactly for this, yeah. Or anything.
And then, like, they even got like the seasons wrong. Like when Yasuke is like wandering around the villages and stuff, you see like the cherry blossoms out and stuff like that, and then you see people attending the rice fields. They wouldn't be doing that. It's 2 different time. Like it's not time for harvesting. Harvesting.
Harvest is in the fall.
And cherries are in the spring. So
and watermelons are in the summer.
Why would cherry blossoms be blooming at the time?
Yasuke is so powerful that time and space bend around him. He is the Doctor.
Well, he can run around straight through concrete walls. Let's not forget that. But yeah, I mean, I heard that they were going to do stuff like that. Obviously, we saw that they had rectangular tatami mats, or no, square tatami mats instead of rectangular ones. Things like that. The architecture was all wrong.
They keep mixing it with Chinese architecture, and like that wouldn't be there at all.
Yeah, this is the consensus that I heard. You've got watermelons, sakura trees, and rice fields at the same time, apparently. So that's 3 different seasons.
Yeah,
Because I think Japan has 4, right? Japan has 4 seasons.
Yeah,
like
we have all
everywhere
4
else.
seasons. Yep.
Yeah. Not
In
like
fact, it
where I live
snowed
in the
here,
Philippines. There's only
we had
2.
snow for like the past 2 days. It snowed.
Oh, right. That's nice. I like snow. I miss snow, but that's because it never snows here. It's just hot. It's hot and dry, or it's hot and wet. That's the Philippines. But there you go. Anyway, and I mean, I grew up in a country that has 4 seasons, so it's I've never quite got used to that. But there you go.
It's literally 4 seasons in a day.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I've been to Wales. But yeah, there was actually another thing to that, because we have cherry trees in the UK. I think they're most associated with Japan, but
Yeah,
they blossom in our
the
country
UK only
too.
have them because they were gifted by the emperor.
Oh, right. That's cool. I didn't know that. Well, there you go. Learn something new every day. So what else did we get? Well, it got ridiculously bad now that Yasuke Simulator is actually getting wishlisted, so much so that last time I counted, it was now in only 900th position ranking from 1700th the last time we talked about it. So that's a significant increase. Then Ubisoft was forced to cancel the Tokyo Game Show appearance and delay the game, first for 2 months and then another month. Or was it 3 months? And then it was 3 months and then another month on top of that. Especially as the game still appeared to be buggy and not properly working, even after the first 2 months of delay. So they delayed it again, and they happened to choose the anniversary of the sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway that killed like 14 people and injured 1,000.
More close to 2,000, but
Yeah, right. Over 1,000 then is what I was going to say, but I can't remember the exact numbers, but still, don't do that. That's really, really dumb. They've just every possible move that they could have taken, whether out of malice
remember,
or
they
total
also
incompetence.
wanted to have before they moved it to March, they wanted to release it during Black History Month, so that if the game fails, they can blame racism.
Of course. And it was actually going to be on Valentine's Day as well, which in the West, I don't know if we do that in Japan. Maybe you probably do. But yeah, 14th of February it was going to be, and that, of course, has come and gone. Now it seems they have no choice but to release on the intended date. I don't think we'll be seeing any more delays, because the final most ridiculous thing that could have happened, because I think Japan has been sabotaging the fuck out of this game as much as they can. And I think especially Japan. And I don't blame them at all. And I hope it is Japan. I hope history-accurate developers who made Yasuke Simulator is a Japanese guy or girl. I really do. I don't know, and I have no way to find out, but I hope so.
Ubisoft keeps trying to say, "Oh, Japan's doing this because they're racist." Like, no, Japan's not mad because of the game. The main character is black. That's not what they're angry about. They're angry because they're trying to claim it as a historical fact when it's not. Yasuke was a retainer, and he was only around for 3 years. You cannot be a samurai within 3 years.
I thought it was even less time than that.
Yeah,
I thought it was only 15 months.
It was
maybe that was just when he was with
years.
Nobunaga.
Yeah, he was about 3 years, and he was gifted to Nobunaga. He wasn't Nobunaga's slave or anything like that. No, Nobunaga treated him like a regular person. Right? Yeah.
Well, if you are gifted to someone, you have to be owned in every respect.
The thing is that the Dutch, they gifted him to Nobunaga, and Nobunaga's like, "Why do I want a human? Why are you giving me this?" Because slavery was not a thing here in Japan. Yeah, because like that wasn't a thing here. Like that. Okay, why are you giving me this prisoner? Like, what am I supposed to do with him?
Right.
So he became Nobunaga's retainer, just basically a servant. You know, he gets paid, he gets a house.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't believe for a minute that a guy who is able to have his will, suppressed to such an extent that he can be gifted is going to be in that good physical condition. Because I'm thinking if you were in that good physical condition,
he wouldn't be walking around with dreadlocks either.
No,
like who's going to maintain his dreadlocks? Who fixes it for him? Do you think that's a thing here in Japan?
No one. He's either going to have a massive afro or he's going to be bald. Yeah.
Generally speaking, since I'm having camera issues, go ahead and put Osaka on top of me. and since I'm just going to be in
It
avatar
sounds
mode.
so wrong.
Phrasing.
That's a little bit of phrasing. Yeah. Well,
This is how John ended up with such a harem of YouTuber females. It's
so
by
problematic.
using double entendre laden language like that. If I said stuff like that, my wife would be knocking on my studio door.
And if I said
Congratulations on the
authorities
baby.
would be knocking on
Oh,
my
thank you.
studio. So there
Yes,
you go.
we'll be finding out the sex of the baby in the next week or two.
That's
We
so
just found out.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for it. Obviously the other one is already growing very big now. She's strong, climbs up me like a monkey now. It's crazy. When I pick her up, she like latches onto my shoulders and tries to climb up me, and then realizes there's nowhere to go once you get past my shoulder, and so I have to rein her in before she falls on the floor. She really does. She scampers
Enjoy them
up
when
me
they're
like a
that
monkey.
little, because like you may not know it, but like think about it now. But that time period will go by so fast.
Oh yeah,
Before you know it, they're a teenager and they're talking back and rolling their eyes.
sounds like the voice of experience there.
I have several nieces and nephews, and I've seen what they do.
Right. right. My my wife and I actually had a chat like that recently. Not to deviate too far from the topic, but it's always nice. People like to hear about it, I guess so. And I was saying to her, I was like, make sure that you take as much like photos, videos, and just mental snapshots of this time as you possibly can, because when it's over, it's over. It's never coming back. They'll never be that age again. They'll never be all goo goo gaga again. It's a one-way street, and we'll be gone before they will, hopefully. So,
And once they become teenagers, they're like, "Oh, Dad, don't take my picture." Delete
oh
that.
yeah. Well, that was me when I was a teenager, so I know how to deal with that. I'll just befriend. If I have a boy, I'll just befriend him and give him video games and beer, and then I'll have an in with both of them.
I don't need
The same thing with a daughter.
I've looked this way
True,
since I was
true, I know,
13
yeah.
years. Okay. I've looked this way for a long time. No photographs are needed.
Brian was born
Dramatica-
47. He's just slowly
DramaticaLaur,
growing
what
into
the
it.
Wow, what the hell's going on, man?
Things are happening in the chat.
I know.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
over there.
it must be because we have a female among us. That's probably what it is. Anyway,
Hi, everybody.
Indeed.
thank you, dear.
She is magic, so, you know.
Well, she is a magic doll, apparently. So yeah, there's that. All right, we'll crack on with the topic. Let me catch up with everybody in the chat because they are going a little bit crazy right now.
Have you
starting-
played the demo to or played the trailer to the parody of Yasuke parody?
A couple times.
Again, yeah, I can play it again. It cracks me up every time I see it, but okay. First of all, TMB has come in for Canadian $13.99 for the baby fund. Saying nothing else but that. Just literally for the baby fund. Let's find the oldie of Princess of the Fans.
You know the moment you go on.
That beat is infectious.
She is like double or triple that size now. It's ridiculous. Even the other video I have of her does not look like her anymore. So there you go. She's already grown rapidly. Speaking of which, TGAP Steve has gifted 20 Will of the Fans memberships. Man, just dominating for the Grift Force. What do I do for that? Gee.
Show them what you do.
Drop it.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean some serious hunkers. A real setup of donkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big old Tanhangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger bunk hanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga no logangas.
Oh, that's great. That is wonderful.
It's an oldie, but I did a re-edit myself, so there you go. TGAP Steve follows up with the member chat for 11 months in the Grift Force, seasoned vet right there. More green for Princess of the Fans, more green indeed, and thank you very much.
Indeed.
You know that clip that you showed about the Austin Powers?
Which, oh yeah, the show them what you do clip,
And and they showed the guy who throws his shoe.
Yeah.
You know he's a terrible person and a criminal, right?
Yep.
He did a lot of terrible things.
Oh yeah.
In real life?
I'm well aware of that. I've worked with a lot of terrible
no idea. I had no idea. That's interesting. I've worked with a few terrible people
In fact,
too.
he was on America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Really?
He's a little bit more than an odd job, you know.
He didn't.
No wonder he
He didn't throw a shoe at the police or anything, did he? I could just imagine, like, you have the right to remain silent, and then they just literally a shoe just bounces off the cop's face. And then he just goes full Austin Powers, like, who throws a shoe? Honestly, you fight like a woman. You know? Anyway, MagesGuild makes a triumphant return for $5. Says that Park Place is such a good rag. So many good takes. Certainly better than the alternatives. Hello, Will, and congratulations. Thank you. Says he's quite toasty. But I'll do what I can in chat. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Following up immediately, Ryan, Will compelled me to work with you, but I need a way to contact you. What is your X account? I do a much better job when I'm sober.
So it seems as though I guess, Will, you have a new retainer, and
yeah.
not Will, but Ryan has a new retainer, I guess.
I guess Ryan says to
I'll give
help
you 3 guesses,
new.
MagesGuild.
It's really, really obvious how to contact Ryan. You just search
or
for
you can
all the relevant stuff.
Yeah, or you can join the FFS Discord. I just dropped the link in the chat, and I can arrange all that stuff.
You can literally find me at Ryan Roger Athe on YouTube and X, because no one is crazy enough to pretend to be me, because I'll just go all in and say something even crazier.
Yeah.
Damn right. And thank you
That's
guys
right.
for the memberships and the super chats. We will crack on right after this.
There's one thing you better know, and that is, I love all of y'all. Listen, can I explain something to you about being a daddy?
Don't try to frighten us with your devotion.
Daddy is the breadwinner. You dig what I'm saying? And if you don't win that bread, it just don't come around.
There we go. Thank you guys for all the bread. Anyway, yeah, so we're at this point now, but I think you wanted Yasuke Simulator trailer first in Osaka, so let me see what I can do about that. Have you seen it?
Yeah, that face is just too funny.
Yeah, it cracks me up. I haven't watched it since the last time we watched it on the show, so it probably freshly screw my mind up
like
again.
a fun game. It was more fun than Assassin's Creed.
It's gone up quite a bit in the rank too, from where it was originally on the wish list. It's
Oh yeah. Hold on, I've got to get that in position and share this tab instead.
Speaking of sharing, share the stream.
Oh yeah, that's right. Share the stream, and also don't forget,
like the stream.
There we go. Absolutely. Anyway, what's that? MagesGuild said thanks for not actually answering. I assume that he's welcome
I
to join.
don't need to. Other people in the chat can answer on my behalf. That's
I've
the
seen
power
it. Yeah,
of real estate.
yeah.
Ryan's network
Yrys,
is
dropped
larger
links.
than mine.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
Will's
this is.
talent but Will's talent is at least 3 times more than me. So,
yeah.
But
well, I mean,
good night, Noel.
Yeah. Dramatica
Okay.
is leaving us. But it's
Oh,
nice
really?
having her here for the she says mods and everyone in chat, good night, stay safe.
I
You
don't
too.
have pink
Good night,
eye.
Noel.
Take care,
Laura.
DramaticaLaur. She speculated earlier on that you're actually a 60-year-old man who has dementia and just thinks he's 25. While I was, it completely distracted me from like this room full of demons, and I get my ass handed to me for a minute, but it was hilarious. So there you go.
He's
There's that.
60 50-year-old cannot have this great skin. Okay, folks.
Beautiful. All right, let's watch this trailer, then I'll catch up with the latest that's coming in as well. Anyway, I think everyone should be able to hear it.
Oda Nobunaga, I am Daimyo. You shall be my samurai. Yasuke, you will help me unify Japan.
The scale
Go
is
now to the
crazy.
streets. Fight your way up to Takatenjin Castle, controlled by the Takeda clan.
Foreigner!
Foreigner! Here comes the Santa Maria.
I love the clip art.
Oh, the Takeda clan!
Everything!
Oh my god.
Just gets
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I mean, it's just pitch perfect, and it's just so funny because, I mean, obviously the machine gun and stuff is crazy, but it builds up. It builds up from like almost believable as just a crappy.
I think they're
fan
gonna
version.
make more money than Assassin's Creed. I really do.
I mean, proportionate to their budget, I would imagine they probably make vastly more money than whatever it costs to make. Because, I mean, first of all, the setting is decent. It looks like a low poly version of Assassin's Creed. Even when you see him, I mean, some of the scale, of course, is insane on some of these buildings as high as mountains and things like that. But that was an issue they had early on in the actual game as well. The scale was apparently all over the place. Then if you actually watch the way he's running here, this looks like it comes straight out of an old Assassin's Creed game. So I don't know what they've done here, but that is like the sort of way that you would run. They ran sort of with their arms back, not quite full Naruto style, but you know what I mean. And then, you know, the combat, the fact that he's running through tables that are weightless, just like Yasuke in the game running through concrete walls in the demo. Then, of course, you get Foreigner, which is just fucking
Don't
ludicrous.
forget that what Furious Dan has just pointed out, they're sticking to the same ugly soft music too.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, we absolutely got that with the sort of feudal-esque hip-hop music that plays the entire way through. They have the fucking they have this monk man or whatever, peasant guy, or I don't know what he's supposed to be, looking really not very Japanese at all when you look at the face. Just screaming.
Because Yasuke has just been wiping them out. The
Yeah,
last
probably.
Nippon.
There it is. And he shouts Foreigner instead of, you know, Gaijin. So that's weird.
If you notice behind the guy too, I guess is that supposed to be a rock wall or like a screen?
Yeah, but it's like a head height.
It kind of reminds
as
me of
well.
like Virtual Fighter.
A little bit, yeah. Low poly backgrounds. It does kind of look like that, yeah. So then, you know, and of course he just
79.
cuts him down and his sword turns into a lightsaber temporarily while he just kills this.
The purple one too, the Samuel Jackson one.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah. Ah, subtext right there, you see?
Details.
There you go. I
Details.
like that. I like your eye for detail.
This isn't a game set in 1579. It's set in 2079, where
Yeah.
the world has gone back so far in technology because Yasuke has been going all around the world just slaying everyone,
Just
powered
having
by his
time bend to his will, yeah.
powered by his spent reactor.
And then you get apparently Spanish galleons showing up to
Yeah,
Japan.
because they were allowed in Japan at that time, right?
Oh yeah, they certainly were. They're definitely not, you know, hanging around in the Caribbean and places
The only
like that.
ones
They
that
were
were
in
allowed
Japan.
in Japan at that time were the Dutch, and they weren't allowed to leave, and they only had to stay in one location. The ones who already
Really?
came, yep, because Japan had closed itself from the world for over 500 years.
Sounds a lot like the plan I came up with earlier on for what to do with the Tranoids when I was doing Hyperdrive Time, and I said they all seem to be seeking some sort of respite for their mental illness. So I say we give them an island, and then just for their own safety, put a big wall around it and call it Asylum. Although some other names came up, Loose Wireland was a good one if we give them Ireland, and then there were some other ones too. Obviously, Transylvania came up. That was a good one too. But yeah, just, you know, the island of Asylum. That's what it'll be. And then you give them massive tariffs on like makeup and cosmetics.
Did anybody
And,
say Transylvania?
Yeah, we got that too. There was another one that was really funny too, and I can't remember what the bloody hell it was anymore. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. So we've got these apparently lost Spanish ships heading for Japan.
How big Mount Fuji is.
It's, unbelievably huge. I know. Yeah, just colossal. I don't even know what to say about it. It looks like something out of a fantasy game. Anyway, so these ships that have absolutely no clip on the water.
Yeah, I think they're just clip art PNG images. You know, I don't even think they're actually models. You know, I think they're just like dropped on some 2D assets and like, there you go, that's good enough.
No one on board them either, and the flags are all pointing the same way. Anyway, so they make their way over, and there we have. This is the moment, the money shot for me, of course, is when you realize that they really are hell bent on ripping the piss out of the actual game with this fucking, I don't know what he's got there, some kind
He
of.
has a machine gun.
Yeah, it's an automatic rifle, sure. I just can't see what it is.
Just look at the
Then he's
sky
got
as
this.
well.
I mean, this is
Sky
insane.
That's that
This is-
Barrett 50 cal.
Yeah.
Sniper. Yeah.
It's a sniper, yeah, but it's a big fucking magazine on it.
Yeah, it's a Barrett. It's a 50 caliber.
Right, so you can blow someone's head clean off with that. Okay.
And the wall behind them.
Yeah. Why's he got access to that? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
What's funny is like the symbol on the floor that's underneath the weapon is like, because you know how like the Assassin's Creed, like they use a lot of symbols from the shrines and stuff that they're not supposed to use, and they inverted it the wrong way. That's what they did there too.
That's a rose.
It's a Buddhist symbol.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's fucking...
And they flipped it the wrong way, so. But they're
That's
basically
beautiful.
copying.
Yeah, the subtext is great. The subtext is great.
It seems that there's a lot more thought gone into this than even we realized. But brilliant. Good for them. I mean, there's something else as well. I think that bike is called a Ninja or something. It's like an actual bike in...
Yeah, Kawasaki.
Yeah.
It's a Ninja Katana.
Okay.
Specifically.
Right.
Yep.
It looks a lot like the bike I'm riding on the intro to Hyperdrive Time.
Right.
But then we've got this convertible that's here, because of course it has to be a red convertible. He clips into it, and then it's just nonsense.
Then the
doing
GTA.
The physics as well. Like this guy makes the car bounce and stuff. It's like, fuck's sake, what's he got? Pimp hydraulics in it or something? He's just reversing over things.
Sally, I gotta get going. I just saw the time and it's about to be midnight.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well,
No
it was
problem.
great having you here for a few minutes, if nothing else.
Yeah, it was nice
I'm
to
happy I
get
got
some
to see you
insight.
guys.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
for
And
having
so
me.
come back soon, especially when the game comes out. There'll be a
Yeah,
lot
this
more
was fun.
conversations.
Oh, always.
Yeah, it was.
And bye everyone in the chat.
Yep. Sleep well,
Thanks for
Osaka.
joining us.
Bye now.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye for now.
Anyway, there you go. That was fun. A little bit of extra insight from an actual Japanese person. So it does help. Thanks for bringing
This
her.
game is actually a warning of what will happen to Japan if they embrace diversity, inclusivity, and equity. They'll just be flooded by lots of Yasukes, and that will be the result, folks. It's going to be terrifying. So heed the warning.
Yeah. So here we are now, and it does turn out that several copies of the game obviously were acquired from within Ubisoft or somewhere between Ubisoft and the supply chain. And I don't know if they've got the photos on here because I used Smash JT's article earlier on. No, they haven't posted any of the photos, but there were actually pictures. Hang on, let me get Smash JT's article up because he's got the actual photos in it. And hold on a moment. Here we go. This will be better for us, for our purposes, because we don't have time to read it all. But here you go. There's a picture on the left. You can see a guy holding a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows PS5 limited edition in front of the dashboard of his car. This account here has already had to go protected to hide from the legal action that Ubisoft is dropping like a fucking ban hammer on anyone caught streaming this game. Then there's another picture of people holding the copies and the page on Mercari, not to be confused with Mercanti. That is where you could buy it. Although I did actually have a look earlier on, and it's nowhere to be found anymore. But of course, the internet is forever, and as a result, you can still find the footage that was streamed. Some people I heard were even streaming on Pornhub, just streaming Assassin's Creed Shadows because there's less rules about what you. Yeah. So, pretty sure this game will be, ripped and dropped onto something like Steam Unlocked very, very soon. It won't necessarily be an up-to-date version, but I'm sure it'll get patched. Some blurred out footage of the gameplay there. And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is going to scupper what hope this game had. Because now anybody who wants to stream it or wanted to stream it has less incentive to even bother. And people will be able to look at footage that already exists. So I'm thinking less streamers will stream it now because there'll be less of an exclusive aspect to it. That means that less people will be inclined to watch it and potentially buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll benefit from more curious parties just taking a punt and buying it, but I don't know about that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what is coming out is plot details, spoilers, gameplay reviews, all kinds of stuff like that that will seriously hamper the game. And it's just perfect. It's the perfect end to this fucking farce that we've been living through with Assassin's Creed Shadows since last May.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's been that long.
It's a perfect storm. It's as if Bismarck and Titanic had a ship baby and created this fucking catastrophe that needs to be stopped.
The Belgrado's there, the Hindenburg just lands on it as well.
Literally every disaster on water or in the
they
air
all go sailing.
Together.
Yeah, the Titanic and the Lusitania will come crashing through.
That's it. Just happens to bounce off the iceberg, fly through the air, and crash land into Chernobyl. And just and the Challenger is there as well for some reason. Every fucking
This is the pinnacle of disasters, folks, in pop culture and entertainment.
I have never seen any game go through development hell to this extent. I mean, maybe we just don't usually get any insight, and it's just because it's Gamergate. Everyone's got their eyes peeled more than they usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Or it is just that big a fucking mega big Titanic Hindenburg-Arama Challenger Chernobyl boom implosion fest. And I think that is what it is, because it's been a catastrophe.
Well, this is why we need more openness, honesty, and transparency in our entertainment, especially in gaming. Because for all we know, the development hell that Assassin's Creed Shadows has gone through is more akin to the rule than the exception. It's just other companies are far more, capable of covering up their failures. Look at the timeline for Dragon Age Veilguard. Goes back a decade. I'm sure
we knew nothing until a year ago.
Yeah, I'm sure if it was leaking like a sieve, then people would have seen the hell those projects, because it was about 4 of them in one. They would have seen how much of a clusterfuck that was. But Ubisoft is a failing company that is just collapsing at the seams, and we are seeing through the curtains that are just withered and see-through and burning down.
Yeah, speaking of leaking like a sieve or a roof, I'm just been given a note from one of my many connections that Melissa has gone into private, and so I just responded. Well, let's see how long that lasts. She'll be back 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. She didn't last 24 hours last time. She was back within 12 hours.
Yeah,
just posting shit, and then saying she was going to post only serious stuff, then saying this place isn't good enough for serious stuff, I'm only going to shit post, then privating again, then coming back, and then reeing and spurging along with all the usual lolcows, David Jaffe, Review Tech USA. That guy's been on a tear of internal meltdowns lately. Thank you, 8-Bit Eric and Kino Casino, for bringing that shit to my attention. I've been pissing myself laughing at that fat bastard. Anyway, go on.
If Assassin's Creed Shadows was a content creator, it would be Alyssa Mercante. That's how much of a fuck up.
It really is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, that's a
astonishing.
good
And one of
parallel.
the reasons, here's another thing. Never underestimate the real height of arrogance from Ubisoft last year. You were there,
Yeah.
Ryan. I was there. We were on SNH together in January 2024 when we were reading and debating our response to the headline that they had decided to tell everyone not to own or to get comfortable not owning games anymore. They really, really did believe they were on the right side of history and got everything correct here. And then they dropped it. They puffed up their chest. They're like, well, look at our Assassin's Creed game with a black samurai. Well, we'll just stand here with our dicks out waiting for our free hand jobs. And what happened? They got castrated instead.
Yeah, some jackass in the back's all like, fix your fucking audio.
It's just crazy, though. All it took for Ubisoft to go from a very strong financial position at the start of 2024, where they were arrogant enough to make that statement, all it took for them to go from everywhere to nowhere on the brink of collapse was 3 complete failures as projects: Skull and Bones, Star Wars Outlaws, and Assassin's Creed Shadows, folks. And that's all it takes.
Don't forget X Defiant as well. That I mean, I know you're absolutely right. Those are the 10 polls. One of them's not even out yet, and it is still a fucking gigantic disaster. We've also had no success with X Defiant, no success with The Division. Nothing they have put out as a live service has taken. It's not worked. Everyone's tired of it. They're telling them to just go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of that was because of the arrogance that they started the year with. I feel like Skull and Bones might have done a bit better. Not a lot better, but a bit better if the last thing they had made headlines for wasn't telling gamers to stop being comfortable owning games, or get comfortable not owning games, rather. That was one of the most arrogant things I've ever heard from any game studio ever, and I've been following EA for 20 years.
Yeah,
they
these are
really didn't care. Go on.
Yeah, these are the people that I reserve that term fucktarded for, because it's like you know, it's like it's beyond being developmentally challenged. It's just like you're so fucked in the head that you cannot discern anything from anything, even though you have every reason to be capable of it. You know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. So this is it. The end of the epilogue almost of the story. And we'll have another epilogue towards the end of the show. Leaked Assassin's Creed Shadows has already sold and been streamed. And whether you suppress the people who did it, there's a lot of other people who've already captured that footage, repurposed it. It will be showing up in various places, including apparently Pornhub, which is just a fantastic.
Pornhub actually is a place where a lot of things get leaked.
Go on, Gooners. Go and support your fellow creators on Pornhub. Otherwise, you're inconsistent and hypocritical. I do hope you all collaborate with each other on OnlyFans. Otherwise, you're inconsistent and hypocritical. Okay, I'm looking forward to John and Toasty duking it out on OnlyFans.
I mean, I was going to say that's where a lot of leak releases happen, but not normally the ones that are associated with it. But
interesting.
I digress.
Yeah, sorry, I was just slightly distracted there by that little segue in the bottom about the Jadada account going down. Don't know about that. Cannot
freeze over before that happens.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Anyway, we'll move on. We have some other little topics to cover as we make our way, of course, over to Lucasfilm and the demise of Kathleen Kennedy's reputation, her legend, of course, and all of the things we might have to say about that. I'll also be doing another reaction to that sort of more thoroughly on my own tomorrow for Hyperdrive time, but we can certainly get that party started here by the end of this show. Before that, though, the chat are just partying away themselves. So I need to call attention to this because it's going a little crazy. Absolutely. Furious Dan has joined the grift force of his own volition. Welcome to the Reactionaires.
Indeed. Chuck those spears, Dan.
Chuck those spears.
Well, what was that?
Red checks roughnecks.
I mean, I normally call Dan a monkey with a gun, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Anyway, I said I spotted a guy. His name's Kyle, and I was saying I could see him.
Yeah. Does
Yeah.
everybody see Kyle in the chat? Yeah.
Fuck it. They're gonna call me whatever they're gonna call me anyway. I might as well just steer into the crash.
That's right.
Anyway,
That's why we do this here at White Time Friends, you know?
yeah, that's why we have this here all the time at White Time Friends, at whack triggering friends. Anyway, Yrys Dan, congratulations and thank you for joining the Grift Force. Yeah. Follows it up with a $2 super chat saying, sticking it to Ugly Soft is music to my ears. Yeah. There's something glorious about that Yasuke Simulator trailer and the damage that it just feels like they've already done. I really want to just have another quick peep to see if...
see how much it's climbed up in the ranks on the wish list.
It's gone up another 20 positions since I streamed Hyperdrive Time earlier on, so it's currently 943rd.
Holy shit.
Wish list.
It was
1700
Saturday.
Last time we streamed, it was 1700. So that is half. It's literally double the ranking.
Yeah, because like we checked it on Saturday on Weekend Culture, and it was at 1300 at that point in time. So now it's in triple digits. Oh, this could very much happen.
That's
Everyone
right. And if you are watching, if you haven't wishlisted Yasuke Simulator yet, go and wishlist it. Go and wishlist it. Let's see Ubisoft shitting their custard-soaked pants. Abso-freaking-lutely. And thank you very much, Furious Dan. Appreciate it.
We got a long time between now and March 20th still. So, I mean, it could totally happen.
Yeah. In a week, we've seen it go up like 800 spots. So that's pretty impressive. MagesGuild again for $5 says, Ryan, I sent DMs to you on X. As Star Wars complained, whenever you have time, have a rad of them. I guess that meant
absolutely. I'll let you know at times and days tomorrow, my good man.
Yeah, you said you wanted to work with him, so I told him to contact you to get him on System Crash or whatever the one you do.
It's your retainer, Ryan. He's gonna hold your.
I've been expanding my European connections as of late. I've met plenty of Slavic creators. Recently, a few Bulgarians and a Montenegrin from Montenegro, and I'll always bring up the fact that he's from Montenegro, so I can say
you can
certain
say Negro.
word.
Yeah. I mean, we are building bridges over there at Reality Based.
Yeah, if we can unite Slavic people together, there's nothing we cannot do. 90s folks will understand the reference.
Yes, indeed. And also the fact that Slavic is the origin of the word slave. There it is. Anyway, Furious Dan chimes in for another $2, quickly skirting over that one, and rated Assassin's Creed Shadow with my own ESRB. You did? What did you rate it?
Gay and black and
not safe for human consumption, something along those lines, no doubt. Thank you very much. MagesGuild again for $5 says, I need a high five, Will. I beat copyright claims from the BBC, Amazon, and Disney. Should I bother with Paramount? Is Section 31 worth it? Probably not. Not really. I don't know. I mean, if you're not getting huge engagement off it as a topic already, then
yeah, I can't imagine that one having legs, you know.
I mean, not that I'm saying you should only do things based on engagement. God knows I do not stand for actual grifting. But if you're not that passionate about it and no one else is either, then pivot. No one will care. You know? So there's that. It's one of the reasons I've started doing less Doctor Who content. Simple. People just don't care as much about Doctor Who anymore. They're not as outraged as they were a year ago. I'm not as outraged as I was a year ago. It's all a big sigh.
Yeah,
and
Doctor Who gives a fuck.
Doctor Who gives a fuck. Exactly. So there you go. And thank you very much again for that, MagesGuild. You've done a few of these now.
Drop it.
I just spotted something else. I better get through these quick. No. Furious Dan again. Rated GRS. Gay racial swap. Ubisoft sucks. Yeah. Beautiful. Love it. I love it. Fuck. Ryan, that fucking clip of you, was it from SNH where they had you like that? Yeah, I was so gonna download that because it looks like a dog, like with like floppy
Right,
ears.
the ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
if it wouldn't get copyright claimed, I would say like, put it to like some old Hulk Hogan music.
I could put it to something that sounds like it.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Old man was here for $4.99. Greetings also. We're just gonna gloss over the fact that Will knows that people are streaming this game on Pornhub. Ha. Hashtag Will of the Gooners 100 rolling on the floor laughing. Old man Grimm. Stumm. Okay. Stumm. Not now. We'll talk to you later about how I know that. Okay, just
I
not
am
now.
a real Cardathian.
The only Stum I know is the Stum Tiger, a very, very powerful tank.
Stumm means shut up. It means stop.
Oh.
You're willing the effect. You're calling attention to something I don't want made public, which of course is a bit.
Yeah, Grum's child. Be quiet.
The actual reality of how I know that is because I heard Hypno talk about it and Grums. I think.
Oh,
I think it was.
Oh.
Someone posted about it earlier on, and I was like, "Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting." So there you go. That, and I mean, Pornhub exists, so there's that.
Yeah.
And right, thank you very much for chiming in with that one, buddy. Appreciate you. And James Up decides to blow the roof off this whole freaking place, swinging that gigantic cannonball dick around, just shouts "Doom" for 50.
Oh, these? My boobies? My massive fucking titties? My super stuffed up milkies? My hunger bonger doinky boinkies? My fucking fabric stretching, wind flapping, gravity welling sex mounds? You mean these super duper ultra hyper goddamn motherfucking.
Show them what you do.
Yeah, pretty much just guaranteeing more Doom right there and now. So there you go. That'll make sure that tomorrow's meet, whatever happens with that, I pretty much have to stream Doom either way. But anyway, there we go. Thank you very much. Wow, you guys are crazy today. What's going on? Anyway, I'm not going to complain. Let's move on. We need to talk, as much as I just said it's kind of irrelevant and pointless, but we should point out the ridiculous situation of the Doctor Who Series 215 or 41 announcement, which I put in inverted commas because, well, let's just remember how it used to be. A year ago, when they announced Series 114 or 40, it was a media blitz, right? I mean, it was the Disney marketing machine. You got Shooty Gatwa's fucking face on the sides of New York subway trains. Everything's branded Whoniverse for like one moment, and then that was got rid of. There's interviews everywhere, RTDs on every website, every publication is covering it. Everyone's waiting for the release date. The release date comes out. Everyone's excited. There we go. It's coming out. How's it going to work? We got articles trying to work out how it's going to be when it's on 3 different platforms in loads of different countries all at the same time, but not at the same time. And everything's, oh God, it's going to be amazing, guys. It's going to be fucking amazing. Everything's going to be so fucking amazing. Oh! And then at the end of the day, no one fucking cared. The ratings were the lowest they've been ever. And this year is night and fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who season 15 release date seemingly revealed in a new BBC trailer. But did you see how it was revealed?
Was it during or after a rugby game?
So it was during a Six Nations rugby game, which already is a fairly small audience compared to, say, Premier League football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's much more of a niche.
Absolutely,
like,
it's a great sport. No issue with rugby. But go on, John.
It'd be like debuting something during like an arena football league
Right.
outing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of NFL, you'd be AFL or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, the thing is, though, it's actually worse than that. Because, and go away with that fucking remove ads thing. It wasn't just a Six Nations rugby match in the halftime ads. It was an under 20s.
College
So that's-
football comparison, John?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think more people watch college football.
But
frankly.
I was going to say college
basketball
football has
too.
definitely got a bigger,
That's
Shit,
got
I
like
think
as big an audience as the actual main NFL NBA stuff, really, it seems.
It was a comparison for American audiences.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it might be
Little
like
League?
maybe WNBA, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WNBA. Yeah.
John.
I mean, I said it was effectively like if you were in the UK doing it, like, and you wanted a comparison to something that I could experience in my personal life, it would have been like hanging it from a top outside a 14-year-old's middle school or high school basketball game in England. No, fuck it, in Wales.
I wouldn't want Nkutty Gatwa anywhere near a middle school, to be honest. And that's me saying that.
Fair enough. But the point is that they announced it. They didn't announce it. They didn't announce it. There's no announcement. They just literally shat out a new version of the exact same trailer, this one with a date on it, at the end of or midway through the halftime adverts of a Six Nations under 20s rugby game. Look, here's a video. You can see it. Now, we don't have to watch the actual trailer because the actual trailer can go to hell. We can catch the end of it. There, that's it. That bit at the end, 2 seconds.
Wow.
That's it. Not even big lettering.
No.
SAT 12 Opera iPlayer.
Yeah, the logo is way bigger in prominence.
Yeah. I mean, all it does is say it's going to be on iPlayer, which we already knew. And if you weren't really paying attention, you just like, oh, fuck Doctor Who, God. So, yeah. But this guy, of course, this guy who's got a picture of himself hugging RTD. You poor bastard.
Get yourself tested, Jamie. It's for your own good.
They were contractually obligated to do this. They weren't like, there weren't any stipulations on how big the announcement had to be. So they're just like, yeah, okay, we'll just.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Disney doesn't care.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about it before, but there was a convention in LA a couple weeks ago, a Doctor Who convention, and Disney didn't go.
I think that says it all. I
mean, add to that the fact that we know that Bad Wolf isn't working on Doctor Who anymore. They shut down the mill, which it's not worked on Doctor Who for 10 years, but that's a thing that used to make
That's been
CGI.
broken down.
Yeah. Ncuti Gatwa is rumored to have left. And now they just sort of accidentally announced the release date of the next series. They don't have any faith at all. This is night and day from last year.
Yeah,
This
the
is
font
WTW in January 2001, ladies and gentlemen. It's just
It
all
is.
coming to an end.
It is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Go on.
The font in the tweet itself, in the X post, is larger than it is in the advert.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, right. Yeah. This fucking shill, whoever they are, a madman, not a box, with a picture of our RTD there, and obviously a free prostate exam afterwards, has clearly mistakenly misinterpreted this as something to get excited about.
Yeah. Although I'd say that Madman has never been near a box, let alone in one. He's like maybe a bum.
Has anyone been excited to go to a funeral?
I guess it would really have to depend on who it was, and that's not like a mark of excellence by any stretch of the imagination.
I've been sad to go to a funeral, and I've been dreading going to a funeral, which also kind of comes with a share of sort of not excitement, but like eagerness to get it done.
Right. I've been relieved at some points to go to funerals
Yeah.
because
Being
people that were
excited-
suffering.
Because then it's over. You know, you
Right.
can
Yeah,
move on.
Being excited for season 2 of Disney Who is like being excited to attend a funeral.
Yes,
That's
it
the
is.
comparison I'm making.
I mean, the analogy that I've been using for so long now is basically that Doctor Who died sometime. We're not quite sure exactly when because we weren't really allowed to see when it died. The lethal injection was administered during the Jodie run. And then they decided to go full Weekend at Bernie's, except they decided it would be Weekend at Bernadette's. And they dragged up the corpse and started puppeteering it around to do story time for kids and all that. And we've all been chasing them, just asking them to please just stop desecrating the corpse. And now it seems that they finally have just lost interest and just tossing it into the gutter so that we can pick it up, bury it properly.
Doctor Who has definitely sniffed the FEV, folks, because to use a Fallout reference.
Fallout referencing, yeah.
Yeah, the Master was also in that, and he was a deformed ghoul, so...
Yes, that's true, yeah. I mean, he's not just a deformed ghoul, it's a bit more than that. It's like a fusion of flesh, hive mind, and computer. So there's that. Anyway, yeah, so they're trying so hard here at Screen Rant. You almost have to applaud a little bit, sort of begrudgingly with one finger, you know, like that.
That's right.
Like a hippie applause. Say, you know, because they're like, what this means for Doctor Who. The release date is surprisingly soon. It says it also means the series is set to return just 4 months after the Christmas special. Overall, the hiatus between seasons will last less than a year, which marks the shortest hiatus since the wait between 2007 Season 3 and 2008 Season 4, which lasted just 9 months and 6 days. Now, I hate to be pedantic, but that means nothing. That's just a bunch of... That doesn't mean anything because they're fucking afraid to say what it means.
Yeah, those are words to fill a page that says they're trying to get this out and over and done with as quickly as possible.
And they are saying that it could ultimately benefit the show, of course, because you are not allowed to say anything truthful or honest or in any way negative. And those things are inexorably tied together when it's Doctor Who. Go on.
Well, the benefit is it goes into mothballs sooner, you know, and just kind of like, you know, hopefully starts to like lose the stench maybe 5 years from now. But it's I don't know.
If they don't decanonize the last 2 Doctors runs and everything in between, they will not get the audience back.
No.
We'll get more and more comfortable ignoring the stuff that we don't like and focusing only on the stuff that we do like, just like people did with Star Wars, until we end up in a situation where, like, well, it's already happened. It actually, Doctor Who was first in every way compared to Star Wars. It was the first to get ravaged by wokeness and feminism. It was the first to undermine its core characters. It was the first to achieve total apathy from its audience. And now we're getting the epilogue of that.
Yeah, it's the first to get mothballed.
Yeah, it is. So we're exceedingly good at ignoring the things that we actually don't like and just focusing on the parts we do. We've become, as to paraphrase the architect from the Matrix Reloaded, we have become exceedingly efficient at it.
Right.
Just saying, right, I see you've decided to ruin something I love. Great.
And
well, I still have my DVDs. Bye.
Yep.
We don't care. We have each other, we have our fandom, we have our memories, and we have the old good stuff. So we don't need you. You need us, but you've decided you don't care about that. So off you fuck. Bye-bye.
We'll
anyway,
make
there you
our
go.
own entertainment off your corpse.
It's what we've done. It's what this is. It's what the show is, literally.
I'll fashion something from your bones.
Well, not literally, figuratively. No. But even if the new season of Doctor Who airs alongside the long-awaited Andor season 2, this could ultimately be the best thing for the BBC series. Okay, I'm ready. Are you limbering up? I'm ready to watch some mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
The wait for season 14 lasted roughly 2.5 years. So putting the series on a more regular schedule
Oh Jesus!
For one season,
right?
Because
right.
nothing else is greenlit.
This is it. This is
After
not a
so
more
much
regular
speculation-
schedule.
Are you brain dead? Like, okay, a more regular schedule. Yeah, you're shortening the distance from one series to the other before potentially
Jesus.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 50-year hiatus.
This is like Greg Louganis half gainer of a finish, though. That last sentence.
Well, one of the Screen Rant article writers is a bit disabled, so he got to write an article to tick a box.
And
Did
who
you read
is
that
this
last
creature?
sentence?
Brennan Klein.
Brennan Klein.
Oh, yeah, he looks a bit special, doesn't he? That beard comes up
He
a little
does.
too close to his mouth.
He does look a little downsy.
A little bit. What's that? So putting the series on a more regular schedule after so much time can be very helpful in developing audiences' connection with Gatwa's iteration of the Doctor.
Sorry, it just makes me laugh.
How much did they pay you through the nose to say that?
Hey, everybody, we're about to connect. I'm leaving, you know?
Yeah. Ryan, make a black joke. Come on. You know you want to. But Daddy, where are you going?
Right.
I know.
I gotta
I'm
get some
aware
milk
of
and some
that.
cigarettes.
Yes, like your parents did, like your friends did, and
There it
like
is.
your virginity did when you got AIDS.
Don't watch. Turn off the TV. Go and touch grass, please, for God's sake.
Oh man. This is wonderful.
It's like when you see a dog like bouncing on a bed or something, like just
Right,
having a
right.
crazy fun time, and the ears are flapping around everywhere. It's fun. There's a good long clip, guys. You can put it to music. Anything
I
you want.
have hair, you wankers.
On the sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be too proud of that if I were you. There's a reason I shaved my head. Anyway, enjoy your hair, Ryan.
And don't
And
call me a dog. That's what we calling Cutty and creatures like him. Okay.
creatures like him. You mean black
Yeah.
social justice warriors
Indeed.
That's not
who
what
suddenly
I said.
find themselves without jobs? Like this one? Segue of the gods. This is just a 2-minute one. I don't care really because I hate this woman. I
Yeah.
just wanted to laugh at it, rub some salt in before I jump to some more super chats because we are gathering steam here. Joy Reid show The Readout, fucking imaginative title there, cancelled by MSNBC in major shakeup of news network. I mean, what did it say? What was it called? Must sell network by Christmas, MSNBC.
Yeah. Although I will say this much for the title, the readout for the show does deceptively actually explain it because she doesn't have a thought in her own fucking head. She's just a CIA
No, she's just reading out
parrot.
the fucking things that she's told to by her masters,
Yeah.
her overlords, her masters. Ryan told Stroud.
I'm your master. You are my possession. Don't raise up on.
Jesus Christ. What is this show becoming, man? I'm so
It's
serious
like
on Hyperdrive time. I have more of a laugh now on this show as a result. It's good. I like it. Anyway, MSNBC has officially announced the cancellation of Joy Reid's evening program, The Readout, as part of an extensive network overhaul. According to sources familiar with the situation, Reid will host her final show this week, and I think we will all be collectively going, na, 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 hey, 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 fuck off.
Yep.
Not even
to the
goodbye.
View. To the View.
Yeah, she'll go to the
No,
View.
no.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Joy
yeah. I
gets
didn't even
race
consider-
swapped. From Behar to Reed, the Joy gets race swapped on the View.
Oh my god. Oh, there's no face that has less joy, is there? This
No.
is one of the most sullen, miserable faces I've ever had to look at. She looks like she's permanently like every time the camera cuts off her, she sticks like a vinegar-soaked lemon in her mouth and then pops it out ready to talk again. That's what she looks like.
She looks like a cucumber muncher.
I would say something else, but it would be the same thing that got me banned for a month off Facebook a few years ago when I was talking about Leslie Jones. It was totally misinterpreted, but well, you know. Oh my God, she can smile. Ah,
I think I preferred the sullen
one.
one.
It's actually worse.
No, God, please, no, no.
Where's your wig, woman?
I know, right? I don't know what the fuck this woman is. She's totally brainwashed. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the one who tweeted it. I love it. Good morning. MSNBC just cancelled Joy Reid's show. The ad execs and the board finally figured out that racism, lies, and Trump derangement syndrome will put them out of business.
Indeed.
Beautiful. Just what you needed. Just what you needed.
Why are you running?
That's beautiful. Oh, that smug look on her face is just priceless too. Accompanying
I need this tweet. I need this tweet. I'm gonna have to go find this tweet later because that is too funny.
Warfare, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
got like thumbnail cutout fodder written all over it.
Totally.
Anyway, there you go. Fuck off, Joy Reid. No one cares about you. Goodbye. What else do we have? Oh, yeah, a little bit of an update for Captain America, but not too long again. This one's quite interesting, though, because Rob Liefeld, who's furious, of course, we all know how pissed off he is, about Deadpool and stuff, about Marvel in general, and, of course, about Ike Perlmutter and Kevin Feige, has called for Kevin Feige to be fired after the Captain America Brave New World catastrophic drop. Well, it was only 68%, but it was 68% of fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's happening. He's decided to urge that he needs to be fired. He said, get Feige off the mound. He's spent. And I mean, that is true. Now, the interesting thing here that you need to do when you're talking about Captain America's box office is you can't really compare weekend to weekend. The reason for that is that they managed to use President's Day and various other things to turn an opening weekend into a 5-day weekend. So a 5-day weekend gets a 68% drop the following weekend. But if you go Friday to Friday, it's actually 82%.
Yeah. They had to spin it just to make it sound bad, because it would have been worse if they'd actually been honest.
Yeah. Everything sounds worse when you're honest in this day and age. I mean, what have we seen so far in just this show? The complete collapse of Ubisoft, the complete collapse of Doctor Who, the complete collapse of the MCU, and pretty soon the complete collapse of Star Wars. Yeah. We'll be getting to that.
Like I said, today is trash day. Make sure the bin, the bin is going to be full before the garbage man shows up.
It's true. It's fucking true. And we're winning.
Yeah.
We are winning. And there's a special reason for that, which is why I want to call attention to the Kathleen Kennedy thing. I know a lot of people are skeptical about that. A lot of people are like, oh, well, whatever, doesn't matter. No, it does matter. It really does matter. And I'll explain why later. In the meantime, though, okay, MagesGuild came in for $2 and says, I fought the other 3 on principle. I wish I knew what the context for that was now.
Yeah.
The
copyrights. Yeah.
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I always protest BBC copyright claims, and wherever possible, try to put in some footage from one of their rivals so that it isn't even theirs entirely to dispute. But that doesn't work as well as it used to anymore. We used to call it the copyright deadlock. And the idea was you could put a bit of Sony, a bit of Disney, and a bit of Nintendo in a video and prevent any of them from being able to actually copyright claim it. But then YouTube came up with a way that they all could. So,
yeah.
Oh, no more of that. But good for you anyway, man. Good for you. Fight the fucking power. MagesGuild again for another 2 says, I'm a cricket fan. This show is out like a duck. My dad will like that. I have no idea about cricket. I haven't played it since I was in school. Yrys Roda for 2 poundingtons. That would be legitimate currency right there. Says, like a cat batting around a dead mouse. Yes. This is how they treat Doctor Who now. Yeah, that is it. It is. I see my cat doing that with lizards here because they're basically as prolific as anything else. The tiny little like 3 or 4 inch long lizards that run up and down your walls. And my cat goes fucking crazy when she sees one. She's like, like that, like chattering. And she will not rest until I, knock it down with a broom and she can chase it. Cut its tail off, eat it, and scare it to death. At which point she loses interest. Just starts smacking it around. So accurate. Fucking accurate. There you go. Brutal world. But there it is. And MagesGuild for another 2. Doctor Who. I can hardly wait. Cruelly Stooge. Yeah, I mean, it is just pathetic watching these shells, watching these people trying to cope, seethe, and run defense for dead fucking franchises. Yep. Long dead franchises. Furious Dan for another 2. Hey, Will, I followed you on X and DM'd you the ESRB. Okay. Oh yeah, I see you.
Is sharing dick pics again. My goodness.
I see. No, it's actually quite good here. Hold on, I'll get it on screen. He's created an ESRB sticker for the box art of Avowed. And hang on a moment. Here it is. Let's get rid of the chat so you can see it. Open it in a new image as well, so we can scroll down a bit. There it is. Yes, rated indeed. Gay by the ESRB. Very nice, and thank you for that. Appreciate it. I love a good meme. Oh, we've also got some more images here. Rated G4L. Gooners for life. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll keep them. They're good. I'm sure I'll find a use for them. I'm always keeping little things like that for a rainy day. All right. And Rachel Maddow from Raging D-Head. I like it. That's actually a really good name for her. That is what she is, isn't it?
Yeah,
the DEI version of Rachel Maddow. Yeah.
Yep.
They're so insane. MSNBC. I thought CNN was bad. Then I found out about MSNBC because I didn't even know what they existed. And I realized that was already a little annex that people had separated from NBC proper. I imagine put all the really, really terminal TDS cases together.
Yeah, I imagine at some point in time, CNN's going to change their tagline. At least we're not MSN.
Yeah. I mean, probably. Yeah. Thank you very much, Rage D-Head, as well. Appreciate you for that one. MagesGuild for another 2. Amazon tried to claim me over 6 seconds. Yep, they will do that. They will. Talk to Dragon Slayer commentaries about fucking dealing with Amazon and their copyright bullshit.
Yep, that's the Rangs of Prime.
The Rangs of Power.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Another show that refuses to die. Well, we'll outlast you. We outlasted Kathleen Kennedy. Anyway, MagesGuild again for 2 more. Bloody hell, man. Thank you. It says, winning against the BBC and Disney made me hard.
I knew there was going to be bricks in the chat at some point today.
There had to be. I gave me the perfect opportunity to use that. Thank you, MagesGuild. And let's get on. Okay, we got half an hour left, and that is not enough time for us to go through everything else. Johnny Depp is apparently returning to Disney. I still haven't had time to properly cover that. I'll get around to it, probably make a video about it. And Snow White is now being marketed by using clips of the original 1937 movie.
Yeah.
Which, is hilarious considering the things that Rachel Zegler said about it.
And
imagine if Germany did that for their tourism.
All right, I've got a minute or 2 for this one. We got a minute or 2 for this one.
Well, as I said, weeks, months, year ago, easily. Why didn't you just, just put out the original cartoon? It wouldn't have cost a goddamn anything other than promotion.
I mean, even if they just farmed it out to Korea and said, "Hey, Kingdom of Animators, make this again from the scratch in the same art style, the same animation style, just 100%. Go ahead,
every cell and
and
Update
make it in much larger resolution. No HD remaster. Let's do a remake of the original, new recordings of the original soundtrack, and just fucking re-release it. If you did that with all the old Disney films, that would be a license to print money. These live action remakes are cynical, soulless cash grabs, and everyone knows it. If you put even fucking half as much passion into remaking the actual cartoon versions and made them authentically identical, just in better quality, it's the same argument, isn't it? That I make about Final Fantasy VII remake. We didn't need real-time combat. We didn't need all of the glam and the bullshit and the padding and the filler and the plot fuckery. We just wanted the same thing again, looking and sounding better.
Yeah.
That was
That's
it.
all anybody ever asked for was just like, hey, is there any way that we could get like the Advent Children models in Final Fantasy VII? Not can you make some weird amalgamation of like all the stuff that's kind of been failing over the last 15 years?
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I mean, they haven't
I
known
want-
what to do with Final Fantasy for at least 10 years. Go on.
Yeah.
But I want Final Fantasy 15 to be incorporated in every remake. The fighting style. And
Right.
Anyway.
And then there were two.
Didn't you know that Final Fantasy 16 was
Your heresy kicked out
Final
now.
Fantasy 15?
I actually do own Final Fantasy 15. It was one of those things where I said no, not interested, not going to play it, not bothered, don't care, not interested. Then I saw it on a shop shelf like at Argos for like £30, so I bought it on release date. I don't know how it was that cheap.
I think I might have. I think it ultimately became a PlayStation freebie game at one point in time. I think it's in my library, but I can't be certain.
B-Man's happy because I kicked Ryan. He's always asking me to mute him.
In fact,
Anyway.
I am a Final Fantasy expert, and I can tell you 15 is the best.
15
we
sucks.
have fun here. Yep.
Final
It's not
Fantasy
even
1,
close.
2, 4, 6. I guess 3 and 5 are good, but they're not up there with the rest for me. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. I'm not a big fan of 9, but I know that's controversial. But 9 is good. I just don't like it as much as the others. 10, I'll even take 10 too. I like 12. That's about as controversial as I get. And I love 13.
Tactics was
because it
okay.
doesn't- Tactics is great. All the Tactics games are fantastic. Yeah. Almost all the spin-offs until Sakaguchi left, basically. But there've only been like 2 good Final Fantasy games since Sakaguchi left. Simple. And they're not really Final Fantasy. They just look like it. But there you go. 10-2, yeah, 10-2 is polarizing. It's just that I like getting the perfect ending. And I like the incredible amount of work that you have to put into that game to save Tidus, because that is how
People
you
don't know
pronounce it.
this. The perfect ending costs just a little bit more than a happy ending, but it's worth
Oh, I see what you did there. All right, that's enough. Obviously, we're not talking about Snow White. So let's just move on to talk about
which goes to show how much we care about Snow White.
Yeah.
Exactly, because something I have no idea about Final Fantasy is a topic, but no one talks about 11 anymore.
A lot of people couldn't play 11. I played it, but I became very frustrated with it when I rode out on a chocobo into an area between 2 hubs, 2 like safe low-level hubs, got my chocobo, got killed, and leveled down to the point where I couldn't get on my chocobo anymore.
Now that's strange. That's a strange design.
11 is a great game with a lot of fucking janky mechanics, and that's why 14 failed when it first came out, because they were basically just making a sequel to 11. They didn't realize that if you weren't streamlined like WoW, you were not going to get any sales. So that's why when Yoshi P came in, Final Fantasy 14 2.0 became a lot more like World of Warcraft, frankly, but with a much stronger single player focus and cutscenes and better graphics and better soundtrack. And I like WoW a lot. 14 is better. Tough. Anyway, there you go. It is. It just is. Anyway, we'll move on. we have another thing to talk about here, and that, of course, is the thing that broke, about 12 hours ago now, just about. And that would be the ding dong, the witch is dead moment of Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy. Nice. Apparently she's out. Now, I know what everyone's going to say. Kathleen Kennedy said she was going to leave like years ago. There were reports. Doomcock said this. Doomcock said that. Doomcock was wrong. Okay. Sorry, but he was repeatedly about Kathleen Kennedy. Facts don't care about your feelings after all. But I still like Doomcock a lot, by the way, so don't get on me for that. But she did say last year that she wanted one more big hit and then she would retire. And this year it became clear that that hit is never, ever going to come. Yes. She has destroyed Star Wars to utterly unrecognizable. You know, like, look at it. This is the thing. This is, I think, no one's brought it up, but I think it has more to do with it than anything else. A lot of people saying, yeah, USAID is getting shut down. DEI department's getting shut down. She's probably got a lot of incriminating crap on her now, and it ain't worth the dirt she has on everybody else in Hollywood to sustain her position any longer. Plus, she's old as fuck, and she needs to go. But what I really, really, really think it is the fact that, let's actually look at her legacy. She has failed increasingly and in almost a completely consistent manner, with only a couple of little upticks here and there in The Mandalorian season 1. And no, that was it. And that's it, basically. Yeah, Baby Yoda.
I've sensed
her one
a disturbance in the Force is female.
Yeah. And other than that, she has failed and failed and failed and failed, culminating in Skeleton Crew. Okay, so we had the big nightmare rip and tear bullshit fest of the Acolyte, right? The lesbian space witches, cringe to a level we've never seen. The fucking diss track from Amanda Stenberg, which, you know, really only served to let us know that she had some nice tits. Because you sure as hell ain't going to get that from the Disney costume department.
Yeah,
but
hey, Ryan,
then,
I got a title for when you clip this. The Force is femme fatale.
Femme fatale. Yeah. Anyway, so the thing is that it's all come to the point now where after the Acolyte, I think most people just decided it's not even worth engaging with Star Wars anymore, right?
Yeah.
Even Star Wars Theory has given up. Okay.
Yeah.
So Skeleton Crew comes out. On paper, Skeleton Crew should be Stranger Things in the Star Wars universe. Right? Two things that should, if you had told someone 10 years ago that you were going to do that, you would have got immediately greenlit. Right?
Yeah.
But now, even Stranger Things can't sell Star Wars. Go on,
right? Yeah, when the taco fight was failing, you know, at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna do like some real, like, you know, like VOD content. Fight. Yeah, I'm gonna do some real, like, consistent work on this, and all I could even be asked to do is that Saber Cuts parody, so I ended up ultimately watching that thing, laughing my ass off. Like, it was a comedy of errors. It was, oh god, it was so, but it was like so humorously bad that I actually enjoyed the time with it. Like, I didn't watch Hagatha, you know, or Agony all along, whatever it was, because that was just, I tried to get through one episode of that, and was
it's
like,
funny,
no,
you put an H on Agatha. I put an H on Acolyte. I called it the Hackolyte.
right. So, but yeah, like to think that I spent all that time just laughing my ass off, and the only thing I could even get out of it was about 2 minutes of like sheer content, and it was just because I found the Saber Cuts that laid over perfectly.
I decided too late to start reviewing the Acolyte, like a couple of weeks in, and it became an utter slog to the point where I just put everything before it. I could not bear to watch it, and I never finished. To date, I think I've never finished the last 2 episodes.
I did also make a meme for Basil, the Great Mouse Detective.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because I mean,
he was a squirrel, you bastard.
I understand, but his name was Basil, and so is Basil the Great Mouse Detective. Anyways,
was that the furry with the pronouns in the Acolyte?
Yeah.
His name was Basil. I completely forgot that.
I reviewed the Acolyte with Dragon Slayer, and we had a whale of a time, and it's the last content that Dragon Slayer has made, I dare say, ever, because he hasn't released anything since, and that's what happens when you get a promotion and lots more money.
That's right. That's why I'm now the reigning and only Tangent King.
Ah, so the War of the Roses of tangential bullshit content has been won.
Yep.
Okay.
So much so, Will, that reality-based Tangent Kings will be remaining for the next 3 weeks in March, and then it will be chucked into the fucking trash by the end of March in favor of the Old White Road.
Yep.
I mean, the Old White Road is a good name. It's catchier than like reality-based : multiple word title, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, having Old White Road right before New Black Street is perfection.
Fucking hilarious, yeah. It's a nice gentle roast. Anyway, so of course, here we are then, and we have the legacy of Kathleen Kennedy. Now, of course, the Hollywood Reporter is here to make sure that you know that she is a fucking legend to Hollywood. They say the prolific producer pause. Okay. I super chatted this to Smash JT earlier on, but basically it was exactly what I was saying to my wife at the time, actually explaining this. Make no mistake, Kathleen Kennedy has never produced anything more than a cup of coffee or a hand job for a director.
Yeah.
The only legend about Kathleen Kennedy is the utter destruction of every property at Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I mean, she's anything but prolific. I mean, she's aborted so many ideas before they even got out of the gestation phase.
She announced, I don't even know how many projects. I cannot remember how many projects she actually announced. How many of them actually ended up greenlit? How many, or rather, made it to production? Then how many actually were released and didn't change from one format into another halfway through? Like the Boba Fett movie became a shitty TV show with 2 episodes of its runtime dedicated to the other fucking Mandalorian.
Right. Which is hilarious because now, the shitty TV show that it became is getting turned back into a shitty movie rather than putting it out as a shitty series.
Allegedly. And the only thing she could do right at the end to try and save some face was to announce a 4th fucking Rey movie, which again has been through development hell, changed directors, doesn't have a script, the writers quit, and it's going nowhere.
Yeah.
Legendary producer Kathleen Kennedy, you fucking liars.
Where is Lando? Where is Rangers of the New Republic? Where's Rogue Squadron? Where are these?
We're never getting Rangers of the New Republic, buddy.
Yeah, the abortive producer, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this woman has killed more Star Wars than anyone else.
This woman has aborted more projects than Alyssa Mercante has aborted children.
There it is.
Savage. Of course, we all knew this would happen. I said a year ago, she will resign. She will retire. If Trump gets in, she will retire. No matter whether she gets a hit or a complete and total fail, she will still retire in 2025.
I sure hope somebody picks up that phone.
Do what?
Because I fucking called it!
Dude, in this picture, her face does not look all that dissimilar from Emperor Palpatine.
You know what's weird is that they've chosen an old picture of her where she not an old picture, like age. She looks old as fuck in this picture. They haven't tried to make her look good at all. And this is the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an agenda underneath this. I feel like the piranhas are circling, you know. Anyway, after more than a decade in a oh shit, this fucking website's jank as crap. After more than a decade in a galaxy far, far away, Kathleen Kennedy is charting a course toward retirement. The Lucasfilm boss told associates she plans to retire by the end of 2025. Puck reported, although it originally came from Matt Belloni, I don't know how you pronounce that fucking name. Reps for Kennedy and Lucasfilm were not immediately available for comment. Well, it's got 2 L's, so that would imply that the first syllable is the one with the emphasis on it.
Baloney.
Baloney would only have. Would only have.
When it comes to pronunciation, aren't you?
You just said pronunciation.
Right.
You're very anal about
You,
pronunciation.
you do realize. You do realize that
Hold
you
on,
just
this is
fell
Ryan
victim.
saying this, who like goes on like anytime I ever misspoke like ever so slightly, he's like he's right on
Will,
top.
I should show you like a special name in between Mountain and Tenacious. You'd find it very interesting. But please continue.
That's right. But Ryan truly is the Duke of Grammar. That is,
You know what's really interesting though is the fact that he just said pronunciation. When the actual way to pronounce that word is pronunciation.
Yeah.
Pronoun.
In one of the there's no such word as pronunciate. The word is
maybe he was doing a play on words, which he wasn't, but that would have been hilarious if he was.
When people add pointless additional suffixes onto words. Americans do this all the damn time. You
know what?
You ever watch wrestling commentary and they're like, oh, this superstar, the aggressiveness. No, the word is aggression.
Right.
You don't need to keep adding more and more suffixes to turn it back into an adjective.
Right. Now, pronunciation is what the woke mob has done to social platforms.
There you go. Anyway, so there we are. Kennedy joined Lucasfilm in 2012 as co-chair alongside Star Wars creator George Lucas, and a few months later took the reins. Right. We know everything about this woman. We know Steven Spielberg said that she was an annoying pain in the ass who tried to take over and change stories. We know that she never actually did anything on set of Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Willow, anything. Any property that was made by Lucasfilm, anything from Steven Spielberg, she never actually had a hand in anything. She doesn't have a creative bone in her body.
On a few things, but
and the only way she ever had a creative bone in her body was if she was fucking one of the directors. That's
indeed, there it is. Yeah. Never had a hand in anything, just a hand on a
handy J. Yeah, exactly. She relaunched the fucking stupid website. Every time I try to highlight the fucking text, it goes mental. She relaunched the franchise. Beginning with J.J. Abrams' Star Wars The Force Awakens, which grossed more than $2 billion globally, blah, 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 blah. And how did it go at the end? Oh, you didn't mention it. Oh, okay. Now, we have here some things that were supposed to be successful. Solo, of course, became the first film to lose money. So that's definitely a fail. Rogue One did okay, but really she wasn't very involved in it, except for replacing the fucking director.
They could have changed the name to Solo, a Star Wars audience, because there was like maybe one person in the theater.
I didn't even see it. To date, I've only seen it playing on a TV in a bar. I've never actually heard that movie.
Yeah.
I've just seen it.
I haven't even watched like Mahler's take on it, if he even made one. Like, I mean, it's
what's your name, boy? Oh, do you have a last name? No. Oh, right. Solo. Han Solo.
And to date, I've never seen or heard any of the Rise of Palpatine, because I literally just was in Hong Kong airport on my way back to the Philippines the last time I came from England, and Mauler dropped his fucking 2-hour review of it. I was like, oh, job done. I'll just listen to this.
Yeah. Rise of Palpatine, I've never
Go
watched Rise of Palpatine outside of somebody taking the piss out of
it.
Yeah.
I've only seen the scene where she says her name is Rey Skywalker and everyone boos.
Yep.
So there you go. I mean, it just doesn't paint a picture of a legendary or prolific or creatively, prolific or fertile mind.
Right.
She is, in fact, a dried up old spinster hag who probably got to the job on her knees.
Yeah. I mean, which is a skill. If you can climb a ladder on your knees, I mean, that is kind of impressive.
Well, John, this is less of a George Washington and more of a Benedict Arnold. Okay, this is the legacy that Kathleen Kennedy, who does have a twin sister, by the way, has left in regards to Disney Star Wars. Yes, she's going to leave, and her twin sister's going to take her place as a gigantic troll / fuck you.
That would be funny, but there you go. Still, we have a point now where people are kind of sighing as a response to this.
Yeah.
Instead of any kind of celebration, I've been kind of disappointed. I feel like a lot of people are going, so she's killed it. It's already ruined, so fuck it. And I feel like that's too negative, because we should, in fact, remember that this woman's installation as the head of Lucasfilm, even though it was done by George Lucas himself, I mean, he trusted her, poor bastard, brought most of us together, whether one way or another, because
that was the one thing she did accomplish, is she made a rebellion.
She united the fan base against her. Yeah. Congrats. Congratulations. You created the fandom menace by proxy. That when that fragmented, you then created the fellowship and the other groups that are prevalent today. All of this kind of came about because of Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, you could argue Doctor Who got there first, but what happened with Doctor Who became globally viral when it happened to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, the happy ending is we all, and pardon the phrasing, we all met each other as the next generation of that very same fight, you know.
Yeah.
And we've won. We've won simply through the war of attrition. We're still here to remind everybody that Kathleen Kennedy is a fucking joke.
Yep.
And a complete failure.
Yeah, before the show, I had likened it to, you know, finding the guy who burnt down your grandfather's home that he built with his own two hands. And like, you know, it's like you're relieved that like finally that, you know, sadistic clown has been apprehended and seeing some semblance of justice, but it's not going to get your memories, you know, undestroyed. You're not going to be able to refashion the ashes back into anything material sound again. So
exactly.
But it is nice to like know that at least the arsonist has been stopped to some degree.
I mean, I saw Echo Chamberlain's video on it already, and I strongly recommend people go check that out. Or if you don't, I'll be covering it on Hyperdrive Time anyway, because I want to. I think he's done a fucking fantastic job of summarizing what I'm trying to articulate. I'm good with words. He's better, no question. He does write, and there's a couple of paragraphs I've got here from his video. He wrote or spoke. He said, "No man is alone who calls another comrade. No night of lesbian space witches is dark that is shared by brethren. Let kings have their crowns and tyrants their scepter. Give me but one honest heart that beats with mine, and I shall defy the world. He who has clasped the hand of a true comrade upon the field of peril and maintained a Disney Plus subscription, who has gazed into his eyes and found them steadfast, knows a bond more sacred than blood, more enduring than time itself. By the fires of battle and the fires in space and the anvil of tribulation is true brotherhood, forged not in the halls of ease, nor the parlors of idle speech. One man alone may falter, two may prevail, but when a legion of brothers rises one as one, the earth trembles beneath their tread, and the heavens bear witness to their triumph through the tides of time and the superciliousness of Ryan Johnson. Crashed relentless upon the shores of my resolve. I stood adamant, immovable as a monolith, hewn from the bedrock of conviction. The world, a clattering rabble of facile minds and feeble wills, had bidden me kneel, bidden me supplicate before the altar of the ever-shifting identity politics and empowerment orthodoxy." Fucking glorious.
That is a wordsmith.
I don't know where he took that. Some of that must come from somewhere. I don't know if it's fucking Shakespeare or Rudyard Kipling or somebody. Something inspired that, and it is great. Seriously, go and check out that video. He does that for like 5 straight minutes.
Yeah,
it's glorious. So there you go. That'll do for us then. We can wrap things up as we have gone ahead with that, and I need to prepare Hyperdrive Time before I go to bed.
This was quite the show today.
Yes, it was. It's been a good fun one, hasn't it? And we still have some super chats I need to get through. So
let's do that.
Where are we? There we go. MagesGuild for 2 says my Amazon claim was on Rings of Power. Lols. Yeah.
It's almost as if I knew.
It's kind of funny to imagine MagesGuild saying that with his voice as well. Lols. That's kind of meme worthy. You should definitely do that when you're on a show, buddy. James Up for 2 says I could do a 4K remaster of it in 2 hours on my PC. Snow White?
Yeah, probably.
Then do it.
Scale it. Yeah.
Do it.
Scale it, put it out as the fan
again. MagesGuild again. Sorry, Final Fantasy 2 is peak for me. That is a tough one to call peak. It's kind of the black sheep. It is very good though, and it did introduce a lot of the things that endured with the series for a long time, like chocobos. The first appearance was in
Rampaging
Final Fantasy II.
chickens.
There they are. Yrys Roda, I made it into Shadowbringers on Saturday. Shadowbringers is excellent, fucking excellent. That would be the third expansion of Final Fantasy 14, followed by Endwalker, and then it gets a bit janky after that. So enjoy Shadowbringers. The whole world gets spun on its fucking axis in that one. You walk into a parallel universe where light is bad and dark is good. It's a whole thing. It actually spills a colossal lore dump of the actual nature of reality in that game. It's fucking
kind of like the last 15 years.
It's mental, man. I can't even begin to do it justice in a 2-hour show. TGAP Steve for $2 says, has anyone done a wellness check on Doomcock? Well, he may have had a heart attack from sheer orgasmic delight at the news. I'd like to see his response. I'm sure it's going to be a good old day at the Doomcock Cave of Destruction or whatever it is.
Doomcock hard right now.
You could say Doomcock is... I had to.
He's still resonating with people, whatever his reputation. He's not bleeding out, folks.
No. Doomcock is great. When I said earlier on he was wrong, I say he was wrong multiple times because he was told multiple times that Kathleen Kennedy's head was going to roll later that same year, and it just didn't. So that's the way. But at the end of the day, very much a captain among us in the war of attrition. He outlasted her too. We all did.
Yeah.
Imagine being an MCU villain. Because when I saw that on She-Hulk, I'm like, oh shit, Doomcock's in the MCU? What the fuck?
It is weird. He looked so much like Doomcock. When Doomcock wasn't like, he was much more of a Star Trek, Star Wars critic than an MCU critic. It's like they don't even get their enemies right.
Right. It should have been like Gary or someone like,
Yeah, it should have been Gary. Yeah, that's exactly who it should have been. Anyway,
own a comic shop.
right. Like they could have had like the whole secret lair under the comic shop.
Under a comic shop, exactly. Yeah. They had a guy with a really long beard and glasses, lots of tattoos.
Orange Hulk.
Yeah, with like a checkered past, in and out of like prison and whatnot. You know, like,
but a heart of gold.
Yeah,
but then of course that would be all the more reason to say that everyone there is secretly gay and all the other shit that they said in that episode. MagesGuild for 2 more says, I'm sure that KK is great at making coffee. Well, if she's not, then she better be great at stirring something. Yeah. I don't think she was even pretty when she was young. I don't know. No. Anyway, Yrys Roda then gifted 5 Will of the Fans memberships. You fucking Stone Cold legend. Absolutely brilliant.
There's one thing you better know, and that is I love all of y'all. Listen, can I explain something to you about being a daddy?
Don't try to frighten us with your devotion.
A daddy is the breadwinner. You dig what I'm saying? And if you don't win that bread, it just don't come around.
I had to wait for the clip to finish, but I was going to say she was more known for grinding nuts than coffee.
There it is.
Well,
Boom.
you can do a stellar job when you can be at 2 places at once because she has a twin sister, okay? And you can do 2 things at once when you have another person who looks exactly like you. Not many people are aware of Kathleen Kennedy's twin sister, but in the rare appearances she is like at award shows and stuff, there's barely any difference between the 2 of them.
Man,
so
she must be in hiding. Imagine walking down the street and getting someone else's red dot on the middle of your forehead.
My theory has always been the reason why Kathleen Kennedy has had such a stellar record is because she's literally at 2 places at once, so she can do double the work because this fucking duo.
So with one hand she's stirring, and with the other hand she's,
No, right. 2 is in twin.
Oh, right, 2 of them, right. So one is making coffee while the other one is stirring the porridge.
Indeed. Indeed.
Thank
Mages
you for your
Guild for another 2 says I was on Doomcock's show for Rings of Power. Wow.
Yeah,
Good
nice.
for you. That's cool. Nice. Very good indeed. Today on Will of the Fans, Kathleen Kennedy has a cock. Says Hook. No, thank you, Mages Guild. Thank you for fucking tons and tons and tons and tons.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real setup of donkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big ol' Tanhangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger bunk hanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga no logangas.
I made that in 30 minutes last night.
Some of your best work comes in like, the shortest time
Spontaneous.
frames.
Spontaneous shit. Yeah.
That
Sometimes I work
money
on really hard.
which as many
that,
other
Tom.
people play that these days, and as many super chats as you've gotten. How is we've not played the money clip just once for Alyssa?
Yeah, I really should, because we've hit like every goal I had and some I didn't have today. So here you go.
Money, 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 print money, money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, money, more money, 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 heaps and heaps of money, 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 print money, money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
Yeah, there it is. I knew he was going to do it.
I'm also the youngest person on this panel and the least likely to die of old age.
I mean, least likely to die of old age means that you're going sooner than us, Ryan. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, that's I was just pondering that, thinking, so what, you're gonna open a vein right after the show or something?
Well, stay tuned, everybody, for problematic white guy reality based.
Okay, it's time for outros. It's time for outros. Start off, John.
Oh, this has been a great show. It is Tuesday. I surprisingly don't really have all that much going on until we meet again on Thursday, since Ryan's going to be doing a solo venture tomorrow with Kung Fu Hot Dog on his channel. So I'm just going to be working on doing some I guess production work. Oh, actually, tomorrow on Wednesday, I actually will be co-hosting with Toasty, or like doing like I'll be, working the buttons, as I say, on her show while we have a fun time roasting someone in pop culture, nerd culture, whatever kind of stuff that we do there. And then also Friday is would be a free and clear day, but Toasty's taken up this initiative to like using reality based as kind of like her pre-show. So like we'll be doing that on Sunday, or not Sunday. Well, we'll also be doing it on Sunday, but we'll be doing her show on Friday, and then of course I'll be doing Weekend Culture on Honey Badger Arcade Saturday morning. And then we'll be back here again on Sunday, same time as always. And then that, I think, is pretty much the week, other than, of course, we do actually do the big Sunday panel show on Toasties now, too. So, like, yeah, I'm still getting around. Oh, actually, I'm going to be a guest on the Scooby Pup podcast this weekend, where we are likely going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto and or David Lynch, because I was told that I could get to choose, and well, I can talk about either of those without even, any impetus, and I just easily fill 90 minutes. So that's pretty much what I got going on for the remainder of the week ahead. But yeah, this is it's been a really, really awesome show today. And with that said, safe travels ahead. Have a wonderful week going forward. And be awesome as always.
Yeah, brilliant. Love it. Ryan?
Well, folks, thank you all very much for watching the 88th episode of WTF Live. 88 episodes of White Time Friends, and 88, of course, is a special number for people like us. So is 14, but I didn't bring that up on episode 14. As for me, you can check me out over at Ryan Roger Athe, host and founder of reality-based, expect plenty of videos, plenty of shows, plenty of videos from said shows. We will be having Kung Fu Hot Dog on reality-based revival this Wednesday as we move away from the sustainable approach into the March through March, applying the 8-minute rule on steroids, and it's really salvaged February. Towards the last few days, we piloted the 8-minute rule on last Friday, and ever since it's been doing very well on every front for the channel. So you're gonna see it through the March through March. You think 120 videos a month is a lot? How about 150? Or, as I saw with my best case scenario projections, 180 videos in a month alongside 12 shows as well. So you're going to see reality based at close to 100% capacity during the March through March. I always do it every March. Will just grind the channel up to 100 and see how much we can do at full capacity. It's not something that I do at any other month, but it's a way of testing the limit, and it always does well.
March.
Yeah, I do that randomly. Some months I just sort of notice there's an opportunity. I don't know, it's just a vibe I get sometimes. Like, it usually happens around June, maybe August, and then sort of October, November. Those are the months where I feel like I can really cook. I don't know why, but I always do really well in those months. April's another one. So I know what you mean. Yeah. And when you feel like you're hot, you should absolutely go get everything you can.
Well, my best months are always May, August, and October because of previous analyses, and my worst months are February and July. I usually get ill around July
Because people are outside. People are outside, and you're sick in Wales. Anyway, by the way, before I wrap up, I have one more, which would be James Up for $5 says, "You pop up like a sock puppet anyway. She may as well have you on, John."
Well,
How
I mean,
nice.
that's my function. Yeah.
Yeah, for all the guys, fucking crazy amount of super chats for today. For a show that had like less than 100 people watching it at any one time, to be pulling in super chats like this, fucking astonishing, guys. You make me fucking go crazy.
Oh, these? My boobies? My massive fucking titties? My super stuffed up milkies? My hunger bonger doinky boinkies? My fucking fabric stretching, wind flapping, gravity welling sex mounds? You mean these super duper ultra hyper goddamn motherfucking...
Man, you know you're in trouble when like a woman bites her lip like that. Fucking hell.
Yeah. The only one we didn't get today was the dancing Asian ladies.
Oh yeah, I had to get rid of that because it was constantly getting the streams blocked, not just claimed, blocked. So
that's
I had to get rid of
unfortunate.
them. Yeah, I'll
Send
find
it to
some
me
other way to do
privately.
it.
Send it to
You
me
can just look it up. It's called Boom Boom.
Guys. All
It's
right.
by
Okay.
a band called Momoland.
Okay. All right. That's even
In fact, you just generally look for K-pop girls, and you're good.
Indeed.
You do know that Pornhub exists too, right? And,
Oh well, I mean, yeah.
all right. Anyway,
We're
look,
getting
I
into a
gotta
tangent. You gotta
wrap
get
this
going.
fucking thing up, man. I got another fucking show to prepare before I can go to bed. Thank you, my God, everybody. Amazing show. It's been a real blast. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing Hyperdrive Time in fucking less than 8 hours from now. So look forward to that. Videos are coming out. Got another one out in a couple of hours about Assassin's Creed, I believe. And from there, everything will be as it always should be and always was and will be. So thank you very much to... Oops, I popped that one on the screen. Didn't mean to do that. TMB, TGAP Steve, MagesGuild, Furious Dan, and a lot of the same names again and again. Old Man Grimm, James Up, MagesGuild, Furious Dan, Raging D-Head. Who else do we have in there? Yrys Roda. And a lot of the same again and again and again, multiple times. You guys are amazing. I love you all. And I will catch you for Hyperdrive Time in the morning. But till then, we're going to leave you with the credits. Enjoy looking at your names. to nice music, and I'll see you later. Till then, take care now, and bye
Later
bye
on.
then.
Bye for now.
Yeah.